Welcome to Signal Soundbytes. I'm Brandon Peña, editor-in-chief of The Signal, and on today's episode, we'll be talking about Disney's new streaming service and the proposed student access fee and Hawkward Moments. So joining me today on this episode are three awesome people I'm excited to have with me. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Alyssa Shotwell, your online editor of The Signal, Signal Soundbytes alum, maybe.
Hi, my name is Izuh, and I'm student body president and a live reporter for The Signal.
Yeah, I'm Jessica, and I'm a Signal live reporter, and I'm also an SGA and cap.
Yeah. All right. So first up, starting November 12th, Disney will be offering its new streaming service called Disney+. The service will feature 7,500 TV episodes and 500 movies by November 2020. At launch, subscribers will have access to classic Disney films such as The Little Mermaid, new films such as Captain Marvel and Avengers Endgame, and TV shows such as That's So Raven and Kim Possible. Starting at $6.99 a month, are you considering subscribing to Disney+? Why or why not?
I was already going to, even if it was more. So I was like surprised about the price, and I was gonna subscribe before the merger went through. So now I'm like, why wouldn't I? So yeah, it's a yes.
It's a yes
for me.
A yes.
I probably will, but I'm also subscribed to like every streaming service in existence.
Yeah.
So I think I have everything but like Stars, basically. So, I mean, it's likely. I feel like it has a kind of a limited, like, I mean, I love Disney and all, like, Disney shows and movies and stuff, so I feel like as long as that's, like, the content you're looking for, I feel like $6.99 is super reasonable.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Izuh?
Yeah. It was never an option.
Why not?
I just don't care, man.
You're not subscribed to, like, anything, though, like, personally, right?
No Netflix?
No.
He's on my Netflix.
What if someone you knew had a login? Would you be?
That's the thing. No, I would still.
I mean, there might be some movies you want to watch, like
no
the Marvel movies and stuff.
Star Wars, The Simpsons, Malcolm in the Middle.
You'd watch The Simpsons.
It's not just Disney content.
But it's already on like Hulu and stuff. So like
for now.
So if I cancel my Hulu subscription and you no longer have Hulu, would you access it?
I don't know.
I don't know how much longer the Disney content will be on Hulu. Like they own 30% of Hulu, and it's all contractual. Yeah. So I don't know if in 2 years all the ABC content will no longer be, or if it'll be limited or it'll be delayed, where they give it like 6 months ahead,
or like an extension. Because like I have that for HBO. Like I pay extra through Hulu for HBO.
YouTube got me.
YouTube?
Yeah.
I probably would solely for like the Disney, like whatever Disney TV shows they put on there. Because like I always want to watch those, but they're not really accessible anywhere.
That's true.
Like the Proud Family and all those.
Yeah, like the older ones, like the animated ones especially, and like.
You know, somebody would buy that. That they would buy it and then be like, "Let me upload it onto YouTube." Thanks.
That's illegal.
It sure is.
I
still said what I said.
He says it with a smile. Alright, so maybe not.
Yeah,
for you it's a yes, for Jessica it's a yes, for Izuh it's a no.
I think I would give it like 6 months, and if like the user interface, I'm hoping that will be good. I'm assuming that's good because it's Disney.
Yeah.
If it's easy to navigate and it doesn't have some of the issues that Netflix and Hulu have been working out over years.
They're probably starting low.
That's true.
You think
to like build up?
Yeah, because Netflix started at like $8.99.
And they're probably gauging how many people will like subscribe now.
Yeah.
And then like once they're subscribed, if it's increased, like you have to go back and cancel the whole thing.
Yeah.
And they know people are lazy, so
that's true.
What they do.
I hope I'm grandfathered in for the big price increases.
All right, well, let us know what you would do in the comments below. Let us know what your thoughts are on Disney+. And moving on to something here at UHCL. Earlier this semester, the UHCL Vice President of Administration and Finance, Mark Denny, proposed a student access fee to members of SGA. The fee would be paid for by all students and replace the current parking fee only some students pay. The fee is proposed to be nearly half the amount of the current parking fee, but details are not set in stone. Additionally, the fee would potentially go towards parking lot maintenance, shuttle bus upkeep, lighting around the exterior of the campus, and additional parking racks. Via a straw poll vote, SGA members voted in favor of the fee, and thus further development of the proposal will begin with the creation of an advisory board, leading to discussions and an official vote in either the fall or spring semester. So what are your thoughts on the proposed student access fee?
I mean, y'all are way more knowledgeable than me.
I
am kind of indifferent. I barely understand, even with like the content that we've put out, I barely understand how things are allotted now. So
yeah,
I'd rather, like, if they're gonna change it, it doesn't seem like that bad of an idea. But I would like, you know how they do like the police reports, like once a semester, seeing how much is made and how much of it is actually being used towards, like, if it's like paying student workers or fixing certain parts, like that's to me more important than transparency than changing the structure of it. If they change the structure, maybe this can be a restart on that transparency like discussion.
I think now, since like if this would change the structure of it, like the whole school would be paying for it, which should generate a lot more money, I think. So I also think it's cool because if this were to happen, there would be a committee of students who would basically be deciding that money that is generated from this fee. So it's like the students would directly be deciding like how this money got spent, where that money went to, and like it would just be easier to hold student representatives accountable.
Okay.
Yeah. From the way that I understand the fee proposal and how it would work, like I fully support it, but that is only like to my understanding of how it is, which is like how Izuh explained, where if the fee is created, it would basically be a student-based committee that decides how those funds are used. And so like it wouldn't only go towards like, because the first thing people hear when they think about this fee is like, oh, people who aren't paying parking are gonna now have to pay. And so they're automatically like, well, that's not fair for everyone who doesn't pay for parking. Now they have to pay and they're not even parking on campus. But the fee doesn't apply to just the parking lot or even just the roadways. It goes towards like the shuttle bus and anything that has to do with access. So like a student at SGA brought up if those funds could be used to repair like handicap ramps and things like that, and they said yeah, because it's an access fee and that certainly would fall under access. So like as long as it remains student based where students are deciding how those funds are being used, I think it's a good idea.
And sorry, go ahead.
I had a question. So this committee of students, is it similar to other committees where it's like this is their input but they do what they want to do, or is it
how the committee will function, to my knowledge, like doesn't exist because right now this is in like the pre like stages. So right now Mark Denny's focused on creating a group of students, like a focus group, to help decide how those processes will work. So
it would probably like long term probably turn into a shared governance committee. So like it would probably have to get drafted through SGA. It would probably have to be a constitutional amendment and like all that jazz. So it would be a long process. So we're currently trying to work towards letting the new EC know as much as possible about it, because they'll be the ones who are really spearheading this if it happens.
And in my experience, like even with most committees are comprised of, you know, like this many students and this many faculty and this many staff and then administration. And my experience with those committees, like generally they're very receptive to what students have to say, but the issue is that students aren't always there. So if like students aren't there, they're just like, anyway, so like here we go. But I feel like if you're there and you voice an opinion, they're usually very receptive.
Okay.
I co-signed that.
I've never been on a committee, so this is like the outside looking in.
All right. Well, before we get into Hawkward real quick, since your last SGA meeting is tomorrow and you're kind of wrapping up your term here as SGA members, what's your reflection on it? It's been a year. Any good moments?
Honestly, I'm like high-key proud. We've done a lot this year, and I'm glad of the Senate was like started this year, because now I feel like there's another avenue other than the SGA EC just like trying to set up a meeting with everybody. Now like there's more representatives who have a voice that can like make things happen, and so I think we took a step in the right direction this year, so I'm happy about it.
Yeah, I agree. Getting into, Izuh was in SGA the year before this one, but for me, like, I really had no idea what I was getting into. Like, I had a very, like, bare minimum knowledge of what SGA actually did. Mm-hmm. And I think from the outside looking in, a lot of people don't know what we actually do, but, like, we've done so much in the last year. Like, I'm really proud of us, like, because, I mean, there are a lot of things that we talked about that were like, this is an issue. We, like, met with people and, like, those things change, Yeah. And people don't always know that, but, like...
Yeah, the, like,
that's government.
Yeah, that's...
in the hawk sign.
We're basically politicians. Yeah. We fought for that S to get replaced. Yeah. That broken S. It might not be the same font as the rest of the word, but it's okay.
Is it different?
It's like slightly different. It's like slightly smaller.
Am I the only one that finds that it looks a little upside down? Like,
maybe.
It looks
I thought it was the same one upside down. This is news.
Yeah.
And it's a
no, they replaced it. But that's the thing is, like, sometimes it...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were telling me.
No.
I was like, okay.
I just said it really like that.
Well, the funny thing is, like, sometimes people just don't know, like, that they, like, because we met with Eric Herrera, who's the AVP or VP for FMC, and we told him it was a meeting about something else, but in the meeting we're like, yeah, by the way, like, do you know when they're gonna fix the S for the hawk sign? And he was like, huh? Like, he had no idea. Like, yeah.
He was like here for like, I think 2 weeks at that point, and like it was
maybe
like
a little longer, but yeah.
Yeah. He was like, what S? And I was like, you literally didn't even know.
Yeah, he was like, I drive an entrance too.
Yeah.
So he like didn't know. But yeah, it was a good year, and I hope that the next EC will be able to like continue on with the work that we were doing and continue to make changes, positive changes.
Well, congratulations on wrapping up y'all's term.
Honestly, we're out of here. Like,
Yeah, y'all are graduating soon.
You should add an effect of an audience.
Well, that might be a little awkward, which leads me into this. We all have had those moments where you wish you could crawl under a rock or run in the other direction because the situation is just too awkward. If you're a UHCL Hawk, then those moments are appropriately called Hawkward Moments. So, have you guys had any lately?
I had one yesterday. I was prepared for this when you told me we were going to do this today. So I worked yesterday at Floyd's where I wait tables. And my literal first table of the day was like these two ladies. And when it came time to pay, I asked them if the check was together or separate, because like I always do that regardless of like what, if they look like they're a couple or a parent and child or whatever, because you just really never know. Mm-hmm. And one of them was like, yeah, it's together. And so I was like, okay. So I brought the check, and as I was like handing it to the lady, she handed me $50, and she was like, here, I'm gonna assume that covers it. And I was just like, I like kind of panicked because I was like, I don't know what the check is, and I opened it and it was like $61 or something like that. And so I had this really uncomfortable moment where I was like, I looked her and I didn't know what to say, and I was like, actually, it's $61. Like, and she was like, oh, yeah, like it was really uncomfortable. Like she was uncomfortable, I was uncomfortable, everyone around us was uncomfortable. So I was like, I'm just gonna leave. Like I didn't even know what to say, and I was like, I'm just gonna leave this here, and I just like walked away. It was very uncomfortable, and then she proceeded to tip me poorly.
I was gonna say. Oh no.
I'm just kidding. She tipped me like it was like 15% or something, which is like normal.
She said what she said.
Yeah. 20% people.
I have something that happened on Saturday. So the Art Association, we went to the Sawyer Yards in Houston. And then after we went out to go eat at Stanton City Bites, like a burger place. And there's no parking. Like, well, there is. It's like the side of the building. And when you're backing out, you're in the road, right? So I pulled in. We ate. We're there for an hour. I come out and I had another member with me, an alumni, and I unlocked the door, and she's like, the door is not unlocking on my side. And I noticed, I looked at, you know, when you have your lights on, I looked and it said on, but there was no electricity or anything running through the car. Like what happened with us?
Yes, how you got us stranded?
Yeah, I got Brandon stranded.
That was fun.
Too.
Did your battery die?
Yes. I had to pull out in the road, and other members pulled their car. Like we were blocking a whole lane. And And then we were playing like Missy Elliott while it was charging, and they were dancing in the street. Like, it was fun for them, but I was like, when people are in the car with me and I have my lights on, I forget to turn them off.
Yeah. Have you told this story on the podcast?
No, it's maybe after next comment.
Long story short, she left the lights on in her car while we went to a comic convention for a good couple hours. We come out thinking it's time to go. It wasn't time to go, and then we didn't know how to jump the car.
Yeah, and then the next day when he came to my apartment, the tire was flat. Like, yeah. I'm a trustworthy driver, but if the car works or not is not always on me. Like, so luckily there was like 6 girls. We figured it out. Okay, they figured it out for me, and we got the car charged, and I was able to go. And yeah, I brought somebody here today, and I said, good thing it's not dark outside, because I would just forget, and I'd leave my lights on, and I'd figure it out later. So that's my Hawkward moment. Have fun with other hawks.
Thank God for automatic lights, because my battery would be dead every other minute.
Yeah, my car has like, I guess 2 light settings where my lights are on, but they're technically not the like headlight version that should be on, but I usually use those lights because if I turn off my car, like, those lights also turn off, so that's all that I drive with now.
The night before, when we came to Willy Wonka, I didn't even tell you this. I left my lights on the night before. I came to Willy Wonka, and I was in the parking lot talking. I'm like, hang on, I gotta go. I don't want like them to turn off while I'm walking to the car, and it was fine.
You need to get one of those things that's like, well, first of all, you need to learn how to jump a car if you don't know already. and then you
it didn't work. It sparked.
You need to get one of those things that's like you don't need another car to jump your car. It's like a little basically like a pack type thing, and you hook it. You hook it up to your car, and it jumps it automatically without you needing another vehicle.
Yeah, I called my boyfriend because I couldn't find the jumper cables because I have a lot of recycling in my car, and I'm like, hey, did you take the jumper cables? He's like, yes. I'm like, well, I'm in Houston and I need them. And then somebody in the group, they're like, no, I have them. It's fine. And he's like, do you want anything from Kroger? I was like, no. I'm just like, I'll talk to you later.
You need some milk.
All right, so joining us right now is our audience engagement editor, Catherine Rodriguez, who has a Hawkward story. Give it to us.
All right, hey guys. Well, I was listening about Alyssa's stories with the batteries and people trying to help out, and I had to share this. So it was, I believe, 2016, and kind of like the same thing happened to me. I let my lights on, blah blah blah. The next morning, I go, it was dead, so I took an Uber, blah blah blah. So after I charged the battery, right, you have to leave your car on for a certain amount of time, but my job was really close to where I used to live, and it was about 3 a.m. in the morning because I used to work, the morning shift. So I decided to wake up and then just go outside to the garage, turn my car on, and then go back and, get ready, because at 3 a.m. in the morning, chances are it's a Tuesday, nobody's going to be up. So I did that, and then I go back and I'm getting ready, and I get a call, from like a blocked caller ID, and I was like, I'm not gonna pick up, and then they call me a second time, and I'm like, dang, it's 3 a.m. in the morning, it's very weird, like that somebody's calling me right now. So I pick up the phone, and I'm like, hello? Hello, ma'am, this is blah, blah, blah from the Austin Police Department. We are in the garage because your car is on, and we were wondering what happened. And I'm just like, I ran outside, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I don't know how they got to it, but it had not been more than 3 minutes. And I was like on the 3rd floor of the garage. It was like, it's just a patrol car just patrolling the garage like 24/7 or what? I was just trying to explain the whole situation to them, but they gave me this like super sketchy look. It's like, yeah. Don't do that again. Like, don't do that again. I'm like, I'm sorry, I need to charge my battery.
I thought the call was gonna be like, yeah, we see your car speeding down the road.
I got stolen.
That wouldn't be a Hawkward story. That would be another category. But yeah, I pick and it's like, it's blah 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 from the police department. I'm just like, wait, what? Wait,
I was fully well ready for someone to call and be like, we have your car.
I will find you.
Oh, no. Well, thank you for the story, Catherine.
Oh no, you're welcome. Thank
How about you, Izuh? You have one?
I really don't. I'm trying to think of one. I guess on Saturday, I went to go get my oil change, and like I had already paid for it, and the guy walked out with my like AC filter and like some other filter inside of my car and said, "Hey, so your filters are kind of getting dirty, but they're not something that I would replace right now." And then I was like, "Okay," and then you just like. I stood there for a second, and then I was like, am I supposed to replace? You just told me not to replace them. What am I supposed to do with this information? And then he was just like, okay. And then he like left and went to go put them back in my car, and I was like, thank you.
Awkward.
In conclusion, I didn't pay for anything more.
Alright. That's very awkward. But what's even more awkward is trying to transition to a closer of this podcast. I'm just going to end it abruptly. So, thank you all for listening and tuning in to this episode of the podcast. Thank you to my awesome guests for joining me today. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to email us at signalsoundbites@UHCLthesignal.com. Any final comments, words?
Awkward.
Watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah, do that.
Oh, ooh. I can't say anything.
Don't spoil it for anybody.
Okay, bye.
Do you remember when it cuts off?